Listen up. You're here because you want to learn how to be a manipulative, heartless bastard like Kronos, that stray practitioner of Shogun Method, who's made it his life's mission to teach his disciples how to emotionally enslave women. Well, buckle up, because this is going to be one hell of a ride. You're about to dive into the twisted mind of a man who's turned emotional manipulation into an art form. But first, let me introduce you to the old frenemy of our Shogun Method brotherhood, Kronos. Kronos is the kind of guy who makes Satan look like a Boy Scout. He's not just a manipulator, he's a straight-up master of breaking women's hearts and minds. He's the guy who'd laugh in your face while you cry over your sorry ass after you're dumped by your woman, then throw you a manual on how to do it better. His teachings are rooted in Shogun Method, but he's taken it to a whole new level of depravity and insanity. He doesn't just want you to seduce women, he wants you to own them, body and soul. And he doesn't give a toss about the consequences. Kronos is the guy who'd say, if you can't hold up against Shogun Method, Mother Nature will weed you out of the gene pool. Yeah, he's that kind of asshole. He's the guy who'd use a hammer to bash skulls instead of building something useful and then justify it with some pseudo-philosophical bullcrap. He's the guy who'd look you dead in the eye and tell you that emotional manipulation is just survival of the fittest. And here's the thing. Despite his abrasiveness and all-round arseholery, he's not entirely wrong. Kronos doesn't believe in love. He thinks love is a fairy tale invented by weaklings to justify their impotency over women. To him, relationships are a power struggle, and the only way to win is through control and domination. He teaches stray shoguns to see women as pawns in a game of emotional chess. You're the king, and you're supposed to move those pawns however and wherever you want. His philosophy is simple. Women are emotional creatures, and emotions are the easiest thing in the world to manipulate. He doesn't care about respect, empathy, or any of that touchy-feely nonsense. He cares only about results, and his results are real, if not terrifying. If you've read Shogun Method, you already know about the boyfriend-destroyer tactics, but Kronos takes it to a whole new level of messed up. He doesn't just want you to break up a relationship, he wants you to destroy the guy's soul and make the woman thank you for it. Here's how he does it using 3 types of boyfriend-destroyer sequences. Through the Dream Guy sequence, Kronos teaches his disciples to plant the idea of a perfect man in a woman's mind. He makes her imagine this flawless, idealized version of a partner, and then he subtly suggests that her current boyfriend is a loser compared to that dream guy. It's psychological warfare, and like everything else in Shogun Method, it works like a real charm. The prophecy strategy is where Kronos really shines. He teaches his disciples to predict the downfall of the woman's relationship. He tells her, if you stay with him, you'll only discover more of his flaws. And she'll believe it, because Kronos, at the peak of his Shogun Method powers, is an absolute master at sowing doubt. He doesn't just plant seeds of confusion, he waters them until they grow into full-grown trees of dissatisfaction. The yin-yang technique is a Shogun Method staple, and Kronos loves it because it's so elegant in its cruelty. He teaches his disciples to contrast the boyfriend's flaws, yin, with their own supposed strengths, yang. He makes the woman see her boyfriend as weak, untrustworthy, and unworthy of her love, while positioning himself or his disciple as the better option. It's gaslighting on steroids, and it's disgustingly effective. Kronos doesn't stop at breaking up relationships. He wants his disciples to enslave women emotionally, and for that, he uses the I-Ray model, the 4-stage roadmap to emotional enslavement of a woman. The first stage is intrigue. Here, Kronos teaches his disciples to be mysterious and unpredictable. He wants them to keep the woman guessing, to make her obsessed with figuring them out. It's all about creating an emotional hook, because once a woman is hooked, there's no way she'd escape. The second stage is the rapport stage. Once the woman is intrigued, Kronos tells his disciples to build rapport. He wants them to create a false sense of connection, to make the woman feel like they're the only ones who truly understand her. Sneaky, but effective. The third stage is attraction. This is where Kronos gets really dark. He teaches his disciples to use emotional manipulation to create attraction. He doesn't care about genuine connection. He cares about control, authority, and domination. He wants his disciples to make the woman feel like she can't live without them. And the final stage is emotional enslavement. If the attraction stage is dark, this is where it goes pitch black. The final stage is where Kronos' true evil shines. He teaches his Shogun Method disciples to emotionally enslave the woman, to make her completely dependent on them. He doesn't just want her to love them, he wants her to be emotionally addicted to them. Now, in case you haven't figured it out yet, Kronos isn't just a teacher, he's a cult leader. He's created a community of disciples who worship him as if he's the second coming of Buddha. They see him as the ultimate alpha male, the guy who's cracked the code to controlling and dominating women, and they're willing to do whatever it takes to follow in his footsteps. But here's the thing, Kronos doesn't give a crap about his disciples. He sees them as pawns in his own twisted game. He's not teaching them to be better men, he's teaching them to be heartless monsters. And the worst part is that they're too blind to see through it all. Let's be real, you're not Kronos. You're here to learn Shogun Method, but you don't want to turn into a freaking sociopath. You want the power, but to be frank with you, I'm not sure you can handle it. Because let's face it, boyfriend destroyers are not for everyone. Many tried to use this tactic and ended up getting their ass handed to them by some angry boyfriend. And here's the other thing, Kronos is a monster, but it's not entirely his fault. Shogun Method has poisoned his soul, and so I must bear some of the responsibility. The truth is, I don't want another Kronos in the Shogun Method community. This video is a warning, not a guide to boyfriend destroyer sequences and how awesomely powerful Shogun Method is. So, if you're still here, congratulations. You're not going to use boyfriend destroyers. Instead, you're going to close this video and go back to your regular life. Or, if you're feeling brave, try these tactics. But I gotta warn you, if you do it without truly understanding Shogun Method, it'll blow up in your face. I didn't write Shogun Method to help everyone because that's impossible. Some guys couldn't even manipulate a goldfish, let alone manipulate a woman. I can't help them because learning Shogun Method is hard and they're too stupid for that. I'm not here to sell you a magic pill because it doesn't exist. So, if you have what it takes, join us now in the Shogun Method community. Don't be Kronos. Be a real, virtuous Shogun. Learn Shogun Method and use it for good, not for evil. Go to fractionation.org and sign up for the Shogun Method online masterclass. It's free.